Yes, we are live. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Every day, look, we talk about the things and what they happen for inside our country. So news coming in, just carry on say the Supreme Court don't react, don't finally break silence as it gets to do with the gossip where they make around say Justice again being follow Wike to Unical convocation where they give an honorary doctorate degree for law. They don't break silence concerning that one. But make I tell on a more matter. Did you know that the sole administrator for River State, we hear say panic, don't they, for River State now because in the plan to appoint local government caretaker committee chairman. People can say, So it's all about the structure after all. Now, what do you want to be that? To say be neutral person. All right, moving on. More stories from inside River State. Rivers people must organize and force out Tinubu's anti-democratic government workers group. Now, they tell Rivers people like this, saying that waiting they're supposed to be that. And then I know you had though for inside militant group, the former governor, the suspended governor of Umara, now you don't talk this one. And when they get to do with Natasha recall, her constituents, I tell you before, so they don't submit the recall petition to INEC. And then Natasha herself don't share 2,400 bags of grains to her constituents to use celebrate the season. And then Natasha don't deny, say she apologized to to the assembly. Say she no apologize anything. She insists, say her sexual harassment allegations stand and is still there against Akpabio. Now, other matter than day grand way Biso will also tell her about. Don't forget, remember, NBA has been released reports recently about the inflation for inside River State, right? Okay. So that NBS report now waiting we'll get to tell you about, because even I say if you go back since that NBS report about that inflation, where they show say inflation don't come down, inflation really, the NBS reports don't come out. But joining me in my studio now, Comrade Inka, comrade, thank you so much. Inka, thank you as you follow me for inside the studio. I appreciate you big time.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be
all right,
here.
We'll begin with the matter then. Happy to always have you. So let's begin with River State matter. I mean, Moku live enter inside another matter, but the River State matter in the hot past now. So I should say you go down here, say I should say you go down here, say there's fresh panic right now for inside River State over what we saying that the new move by the newly appointed sole administrator, which people say they legal, Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ekwe Ibas, retired to appoint administrators for inside the head for the 23 local government areas of the state. Remember saying that the structure of the local government areas, the 9 be one of the bone of contention, one of the things and where they cause trouble for the local governments. Now, where you be saying in one can appoint head them for inside the local government, they say panic don't they? So people don't they look at like say, oh, so this was after all the move by the president and within the one game. Now, I hear that it was gathered that the President Bola Tinubu, upon the appointment of Ibas, allegedly say, according to gossip, say the president asked him, task him to set up a leadership system for the local government areas for the state. We're supposed to be within the prerogative of the elected governor of the state. Now waiting, they ask this sole administrator to do, if this story are true. Now, and more story where they come out from inside that matter, Concaram say, and that the administrator who had promised peace in the state was on the verge of appointing local government administrators. Now, a source privy to the development regretted that Ibas, despite the clear provisions of the Nigerian Constitution and the recent Supreme Court judgment affirming the autonomy of local government areas, is making efforts to take an action that is alien to all known laws. That is an action we not there anywhere where they for law at all. According to this source, and a Vanguard reporter, not me right time, they say who did not, want his name to be mentioned, said the move, he carried that, would amount to a disregard for democratic principles and a violation of the Supreme Court ruling, which reaffirmed that local government must be governed by elected officials, not handpicked appointees. Remember, say, recently, the Supreme Court, just through President Bola Tinubu, where he carried the matter go court, just announced, say, make anything whether like caretaker no day again. Say the local government, they must be free and autonomous, and the allocations go to them directly, and they're not going to get all this interim this and interim that again, right? Or caretaker committee chairman them again. Now, it is some names and where they don't point out, where they say now likely the names and where they give to this caretaker committee, sole administrator to appoint as caretaker committee chairman. According to the source alleged that names of supposed administrators have already been compiled. They don't already compile names, so raising fears of an orchestrated attempt to subvert the will of the people. It was learned that the appointment had been skewed in favor of big political actor in the state, aka Nyesom Wike. However, those on the other side of the political divide are planning to show down once the appointments are made. According to the source, such a move would spark crisis in the local government system and could set a dangerous precedent for executive overreach. You remember, say recently when the governor been do election, the thing caused trouble on the day of swearing in, after the swearing in of this governors, this local government chairman, on the day when they resumed duty. Remember what happened when them born local government councils where begin happen. Now, according to the source, it says Nigerians must remain vigilant against this unconstitutional maneuver, as it threatens the foundation of grassroots democracy. Any attempt to impose unelected administrators on local government areas must be met with firm resistance from law-abiding citizens, political stakeholders, and civil society groups. Will the rule of law prevail or will impunity reign? Now the question, what did they ask? The next 24 hours will be crucial in determining whether democracy holds firm or is trampled upon in Rivers State. Comrade Yinka Onye, how will one do this matter? If truly the sole administrator for Rivers State won't appoint caretaker committee chairman, where go cause problem for inside the state? How you think say go take be? Make I get your response.
Thank you very much. As you say, Rivers they hot. So good as we start with Rivers. The illegal administrator of Rivers State, retired naval officer, whatever his name is.
Ibas.
If the people of Rivers are serious, and if we are serious as a nation, that illegal appointment of Mr. Ibas should not last beyond the next week that we are. And if at all the federal government proves to be stubborn, it shouldn't last a month. His appointment is illegal, is unrighteous, is unruly. It is a treasonable offense, and it is wrong. And we are
so if it's treasonable, why will never do anything about them? Why is everybody just waiting?
Bola Tinubu should have been impeached by now.
Because not only don't talk Abati don't talk, Ruben Abati don't talk, saying impeachable offense. So what we see the Nigeria if really is
an impeachable offense? You are the president. You do not appoint governors. You do not appoint people to govern a state. They are elected. So an impeachable offense. But unfortunately, we do not have lawmakers. You can see the stories coming out throughout this week of sharing money, this dollar, that dollar. It's a shame.
They send a salary gift. They send a salary gifts.
Oh yes, of course. Tinubu would lovely write gift for Rivers now. They are wise now. They can call it salary.
You don't collect your own salary gift. $5,000, $10,000 for salary.
Exactly. Maybe you don't collect me. I never collect any salary.
And then excuse me, the problem be say the lawmaker will even talk this in accepting actually in dollars. In dollars. When we have dollar crisis, when we have a real FX crisis in Nigeria, when it be say the president already banned most of the transactions in dollars, why it be say the president go send a gesture to them in dollars and then collect them? When it be say our naira they get problem.
It's a corrupt regime. It's a corrupt regime.
Hell.
Now he has now taken a step further, trying to implement all the desires of the people that put him into power by putting those that they want to be controlling the local government and local government. So an illegal administrator trying to also appoint a legal caretaker committee leaders to the local government. It is wrong and it should be resisted. This is not just because of Rivers. This is because of the dying democracy in our country that we're even trying. The so-called democracy of Nigeria is on life support. It's on life support. And we are still pressing it and make sure don't die, don't die. Now these guys just want to ruin it. That is exactly what they want to do.
They do
Because
CPR.
yeah, local government officials should be elected, the chairman and the councillors. You don't appoint. You understand? And if you watch all over the state, the local government election has happened. There have been series of mismanagement and terrible elections. They are still fighting in Osun State. Oyo State is still making us. Some people even went to court, because they are rigging. And all this comes from INEC. How did they mess up the elections of Rivers? Their state, I don't know what they call the Rivers, whether it's RISEC, that's their own. But their state,
yeah. The River State Electoral
Commission. The election of Rivers to be at this point that even Rivers don't have a proper election that will say these are the people that we elected. So all should be resisted, including the appointment of caretaker for local government, and including the appointment of this sole administrator. NBA is not keeping quiet. Civil societies are not keeping quiet. The political parties should not keep quiet. It should be resisted until it is reversed. This is not in support of Fubara. I do not care about Fubara. This is support of the rule of law. This is in support of the fact that we need to still at least take this democracy somewhere and take it beyond the sinking water that it is. So shame on them as they continue to play with the life of Nigeria. I think Tinubu is just on I don't know how to explain his mood now. He's on let me use Yoruba. They could die spray, like make it just cut.
When you speak of finish, you help me interpret.
Yes. Sometimes you are just in the mood of I beg me everything born. That is the mood that
what's not scatter, don't scatter, make it scatter at once, Abi.
It's just giving the Nigerians more opportunity to be angry. Probably he feels that Nigerians will not boil enough. These people they will never revolt. Probably he feels those. But I pray they surprise him as he continues to mismanage the nation with so much lackadaisical attitude. The president just woke up and read a speech and suspended the whole governor, and appointed a former naval officer that is the friend of the former governor, and that one has gone there and started trying to appoint more people. It's sad and it's a shame on our democracy, and it should be resisted.
Okay, all right. But beyond just this talking and creating awareness, what would we expect Rivers State people then to do? Because clearly this thing create another problem. Remember, on the other hand, they don't drag a lot of troops now. Go over 10,000 policemen have been, and they don't carry good for Rivers State, and then they go put military there too. So what it makes so now because of all these kind of things, then all this idea they ground already. Now make them know ahead of time. Pack police and military just go there first, so that when they do what they do, if when I want to react, they go call on to order. Could it be the reason? Because that's the way some people are seeing it.
I saw a news that the IG said any protest to stand against the decision made will be resisted. I saw the news. I'm not confirmed, but I saw it somewhere. But obviously, they say more than that. There's no way they will say such. But I pity them because protest is still the best response that you should expect from the people. When your people are still protesting, be very happy and glad. That means they are still civil. That means they still have understanding. That means they still have a little belief on the system that, we feel that things can be corrected. If they continue to push Nigerians to the point that they forget about protest and look for another way, which is not my own way, I wonder whether 10,000 policemen can curb millions of people. River State, even though it's not a populated as Lagos, I'm sure they are not less than the 7 million or 6 million. If
River State is a whole state, not a whole country.
Yes. So if a lot of people in that society decide that, okay, we are tired of this nonsense and we're not going to protest, since you don't want them to protest, I wonder the action that they will be taking, But I want to tell them, as we are civil people, that they should still go to the route of civil disobedience. This is a mess. Because what will give Bola Tinubu the effrontery to carry out this suspension of a governor who is in the opposition party in quotes, who says he cannot suspend another 10 governors tomorrow in the same opposition party and appoint a sole administrator.
Oh, by the way, they don't call for suspension. They don't call for the. They don't call for state of emergency for inside Osun State. Maybe the next thing might also call for the suspension of Osun
yes,
State.
in fact, I saw a message from a journalist.
That's right. And because Osun State governor exactly. Right.
I also saw a message from a journalist, a so-called respected journalist that said the same thing. We just want peace at all costs. Where is there peace in Nigeria? Precious. Nowhere.
For Imo State, where they led by APC, they just capture or kidnap a Catholic priest right now. Remember, so we talk about subtle persecution of Christians.
Can imagine what they are doing to Catholic priests these days. There's obviously a persecution of Christians, but because of we are making sure we do not make it a religious battle, we try to focus on blaming the government and all that because everybody is the people. But there's obvious persecution of Christians, and it didn't start today. So where is there peace? Or is it in Enugu that they busted a police headquarters, bombed the place and said,
oh yes, so they say IPOB, they say IPOB don't bust. You hear us? So I think I only.
So if you are going on TV or writing and giving excuse that
Ododo Day wouldn't do jailbreak today.
Oh yes, jailbreak. Imagine.
And APC state.
You understand? So when you are making excuses that, oh, want peace at all costs, all right, now, Bola Tinubu, 36 states are unsafe and not at peace in Nigeria. Kindly suspend all the governors and appoint caretaker committee. And let's people make sure that we're in a military regime. And I give the military 1 minute if they will not take over your own government yourself. Because when these people are doing things, they are not thinking. They don't know the precedent that they are laying down. They are just thinking about their selfish interests and how they will win the election in 2027.
Are you sure he doesn't know?
He knows.
Are you sure he doesn't know? He feels that he feels that he has it all put together because he gets the military for in hand and he can control them. So they fear anything will happen. Are you sure that that's not the case? Because I doubt the president wouldn't know that.
It's not. Bola Tinubu is not a kid. He's not a baby politician. He knows what he's doing. This same man spoke against ordinary state of emergency. Jonathan did not suspend the governor. He just declared state of emergency in about 2 northern states. Tinubu spoke against it vehemently. But not only did you declare state of emergency, you suspended an elected governor. Whether I read or not, that's not our business now. INEC gave him that, said that he was elected. You suspended him. He suspended him like he suspended a school prefect. That you live there. You can imagine.
Just like that.
So,
just like that.
Just like that. Just because of your political interests. So we call on the people of Rivers and say, don't allow them to push you in any way because the government are the violent ones. But you must resist. Street protests, press conferences, liaise with journalists, lawyers, everybody. And if you look at it, if you accept you want to be a deaf and stubborn ruler, as Tinubu is, everybody is speaking against this thing, including members of your political party.
Including Wole Soyinka now? Including Wole Soyinka?
Yes. Wole Soyinka told him that he will give him 1 year before he review his government. Everybody is speaking against this thing. Now, this is wrong. If you have declared state of emergency and left it there, we will criticize and say, well, you're killing in Kaduna, you're killing in Kano. Why did you declare that and all that? But you say you have an excuse because of the oil-rich country. You want to bomb all our pipeline. Fine. But you left that. You went ahead and suspended the government. On what basis? On what basis are you going to suspend the governor?
But
that they have lost control of the state. Is Tinubu in control of Nigeria?
Now, what I want to ask you?
This man has lost it. People are dying in all the other states. from terrorism to kidnapping to accidents. A couple just got burnt at the Ododo Bridge. They just got married a few months ago. You have lost the security of the country. You are not in control. Who has suspended you? You went ahead to suspend a governor. For what? And here we are talking about an administrator in 2025. We are not in Babagida's regime or Abasha's regime, an administrator choosing local government chairman. These guys are not thinking. I don't know the effrontery that is this, but what I will still say is that something is pushing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What is pushing him, I don't know. But I hope it push him to the level that Nigeria revolt against this nonsense, because we need that revolution.
But do you really think that Nigerians are capable of having that revolution? That's one of the questions we have to ask. And then secondly, I don't notice things they happen for different parts of the country. These killings and way they talk about, this Catholic priest killing, in fact, different things that happen. I don't barely see the presidency respond to those things. You know how president is a bit quick to respond to people when they yap the president. Once somebody criticizes the president or in policies, they go quickly respond to you. You know, saying different media aids, they respond. But then they hardly respond to most of these killings them by herdsmen, most of how herdsmen don't attack villages, pursue them. Why Ibi say they need it? Ibi say they need to respond because of say they no care, or na say they no value those lives enough, or na say the stories that they reach their ear, or they just don't want to make it a story by responding so that the international community no go know say things like this they happen for the country. What really is the reason why they don't respond? I say Nigerian lives so they valued enough because repeatedly, you know, any day when we need to get either Fulani herdsmen attack or bandits attack almost on a daily basis. And remember, say yes, and remember, see this one's what they happen. According to the National Security Advisor, they say that just 20% now they hear. Say 80% of the main things that when they happen, say they need to even they talk about them. So if this 20% when they happen, would they hear them daily, but would they hardly get a president to come out, come talk about them, or to write, or to even sympathize with the families of these people where this thing don't happen to and all that? Then what's it really mean? Especially when a president go lift things so they happen for here, then go abroad, go commiserate with members of other people, them, other countries, them, when they lose lives, or when one gunman run haywire, begin shoot for those countries. What does it really mean to us? This kind of attitude by presidents and handlers.
The APC government has never cared about Nigerians. The APC, never.
So now just grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. That's all.
And run away with it. No, not once. What they care about is the power. Have we forgotten NSAS? You remember what happened? They killed people like animals? All over, including rivers. Including the rivers.
What were they doing there?
That was the quote of your president today now. Do you understand? So they have never cared. But you see, in the last administration, you know, even though they didn't care, they still understand that even though we don't care, we still have to show face politics.
Yes, so
pretend like we do. So condolences, the president.
And they say, I assure you.
Everybody will come with his sad face and speak to us so that we pity. You know, they were doing that, but they never cared. And how do we know they don't care? The corruption in the security agency did not stop. You know, the lies did not stop. A chief of army staff came and told us that Boko Haram can never stop Buratai. You know, people were dying. He was playing with his snakes. You know, so and after he left power, he went to become an ambassador in Cotonou or Borno, I don't know, a neighboring state. You know, so that just to make sure that it's not attacked. A lot of corruption on him. They never cared. They didn't do what they need to do. They didn't flush out these people. They still telling them about ranching. That's what they were discussing to finish. So, and Tinubu is not a new breed in APC. He was part of this government. So, and they supported all Buhari did with their full chest. Who expect that anything will come out when he is in power? So, this one now, not only do they don't care, they're so arrogant about it. And they intentionally say, well, this is their style. Meaning that Tinubu is claiming to be a media person, he has a media house. Don't feed the bad news, you know. They have told
they teach them that thing. So now what you call news, now be news. You want where you know call news, not be news.
Don't feed
so
the bad
once
news.
It's a bad story, don't feed it, don't amplify
don't feed it. Don't respond. Just go to that is it. No matter how
so now what's in government they carry like this? Okay, so could this be the reason why the government, Could this be the reason why the government, including I think the chief of army staff, I never hear, and including the chief of defense staff too, I never hear any of them respond to those military guys where Boko Haram
They rather attack them and arrest them.
You know those also execute publicly. We never see them talking. That was gruesome. That was gruesome. We should actually see them say something and empathize with the families of those people. We never see them act or say anything.
Let's be hypothetical and put that situation in the United States of America and California, one of the states. California, terrorists do a video in California, a state in the US, they do a video in that state showing where they are and shoot the heads of 3 military men in the US. Can you imagine?
And those terrorists, they still there within the 4 walls of the United States. You know they're possible. Yeah. You know they're possible.
What will happen to those people? But in our country, not only can they not save them or even visit their family and do what is right to acknowledge their death, they just budge you. That's the word I will use. So APC do not care. So if you look at their media guys, they're just talking about fallacies that is not happening, just rolling out figures that are not true, just posting a lot of the wife of the president was even confident to tell us that they made an Ankara to celebrate Nigeria, and they posted the picture.
Unity fabric. Fabric. You don't buy your own. Unity
me, you know, and the changing national anthem. This government is a joke. And I posted something today where Buhari was condemning in Jonathan's time that when people are dying, that is sad when one person died. Now people are dying in droves. It's not sad. But let somebody die in Kansas or in France. They already discussed it. So the government do not care about the people. It's left for the people to care about themselves, hold themselves strong, and fight for their survival. Because you cannot continue to die like this. Edo, Imo, Ebonyi, Enugu, Osun. Where are people not dying? I'm not going to the north. Somebody in Delta, somebody was attacked by Fulani men. He survived it. But since then, his life has been miserable. His kidney problem. He finally died. And imagine the attack of one person. They have affected his family, medicals, and everything till he finally died. That is the country. You don't forget that Fulani headsman own. That farmer own way be say Supreme Court just passed death penalty on top of your head. Oh yes.
Say because of say Fulani headsman attack him, they didn't manage to maneuver the knife from the Fulani headsman hand, kill him. 9 courts said that when the knife for the Fulani headsman hand, why in no pay wrong, leave him? Why is he go kill the man? That is what you have to say. Now, these same Fulani headsmen, different places where they don't kill. We don't mention them several times. Enugu, Ondo, Ogun, Ondo.
Everywhere.
Where they don't kill. We never see one of them when they carry go courts, sentenced to death. Have you seen anyone they sentenced to death? I've not seen any Fulani headsmen they sentenced to death. Not one. And then somebody defend himself against them by killing one of them, and you're sentencing that person to death for defending himself against them, against people that you know that already have a history of this attitude. If you see history, no day, where did they do them? You go say no precedence where they lead. But history don't do what they do repeatedly across all states. I don't even know the kind of judicial system we have. It's so annoying. Like even like only God will save us inside this country, because where do you want to? Can't run to court. You can't take action by yourself. Say, make defend yourself by yourself. You defend yourself, the law come on you. So what do you do? How do you save yourself from this country? How do you really do? What do you do?
The judiciary, they judy for Tinubu, nothing concerned them. Now Wike and Tinubu, they don't judy for them. We have lost the judicial system, obviously. Because even if the executive are messing up, the legislators are supposed to hold them accountable. But in the case where the legislator fails, it's not the duty of the judiciary to do it, because people will take this case to court. But the judiciary is just basically getting bribes, getting houses in Abuja, joking around. You know, they don't care about justice. They just find a way to rule. And they say, we have ruled. We have ruled. You already have ruled, you must follow. I've said it before, and I say it again. Human rights issues also involves standing against corrupt judiciary and judiciary that are influenced by the executives. Because presently in Nigeria, there's been like a barricade protection on the judiciary when they'll say, oh, obey, just obey the judiciary. Even though they do wrong thing, obey. But we are getting there where we will be disobeying even the judiciary. Because obviously, they have been corrupted by the executive. Obviously, there's high corruption even among these judges. Now, people cannot get justice from judiciary anymore. So the people are going to get to that level that they will disobey the law that is against their life. Because what we are talking about is a matter of life and death. See, if this issue was about
so it's not survival
we want to dance. We want to dance, and people say we should not dance. Well, some of us might say, must you dance? You know. But this is not about that. This is how we want to live. Madam Precious, we want to breathe.
Life.
We want to be able to travel from one state to another. We want to be able to call our family across Nigeria and they say they are safe. And they are not giving us that safety. And they want
us to be able to go to our farms. Farmers want to go to their farms and farm, waiting and go chop. Because food not there. They don't visit farm.
Oh, yes. People can't go to their farms. And you are not even providing them enough money to buy things. But okay, let's farm with our land. They are even taking people's land. The people have to rise up. God cannot do anything for us because he has done all he needs to do. Has given us eyes, nose, hand, brain, and everything to work with. Resources everywhere. So we have to fight it. There is no nation that got better without fighting. And you asked a question. You asked a question. Let me quickly answer. You said,
yes,
Nigerians capable? Yeah. That question is very important. When the French Revolution was supposed to happen, the greatest family at that time, they were doing wedding and enjoying themselves. They didn't believe it. Borrow or something. Same for Cuba. The politicians were flexing and drinking. They didn't believe it. Singapore. So at every nation,
because they not
had their resistance. People don't always believe that it will happen. In fact, we that were pushing it, that were shouting about it, we most likely might not even be the one that will lead it. The people that will lead it might even be more radical. And that's what we need. We will just be at the back, shouting, giving base. They should continue to underestimate Nigerians. We believe that from the NYSC that they have been trying to pin them down for years, somebody will revolt even from the NYSC. A young lady.
And now government don't talk by force, say they will give them 77,000 naira this month. Meanwhile, they don't do as propaganda thing. Say, oh, we're paying them 77. Oh, we're paying them 77. Now, because this small girl don't talk out now, they don't agree, say they go pay them the 77,000. So to say she not talk out and for no agree, say for pay by force. It's very unfortunate. But the reason I'm asking this question, if Nigerians really can, I saw a footage earlier today. I think, about how over 1 million Turkish people come out to demonstrate against Turkey becoming a totalitarian dictatorship. So as I see that footage, I just ask myself, say, now wow, see as people they like sand come out, they protest against what they don't want for their country. Nigeria, which they go, make I just show you that footage. Now make I ask so that Nigerians who sure say will get in mind. You know, say Nigerians be one of the happiest people for the world because we don't like anything to kill our joy. No matter what thing happen, would they like to just for John. God day, we go always deliver. Make I show you that footage from Turkey.
Tarihi Yarımada'da bağlantı yolları ile birlikte 1 milyon kişi gönül gönüleyiz. 1 milyon kişi. Siz neyi başardınız biliyor musunuz? Siz sokakları geri kazandınız. Meydanları kazandınız. Tepki ve protesto hakkının yasaklanamayacağını kazandınız. Hepinizin önünde saygı.
So you see them as they come out in their numbers, you see how large they. Now, Turkey people feel come out in this number and come out, can't say no, they don't want this kind of thing to happen for inside their country. How come we Nigerians then no fits? Which day Nigerians could get money? Because if you look at the population of Turkey, then they're just about 87 point something million people, right? They not even reach Nigerian population at all. We day over 200 million, about 230 million now we day. And Turkey, this is where 1 million of them come out like this. Then they're just about 80 something million people. generally. Now, I think about 87.6 or 89, 87, 88 million people there about 9 day. So, but Nigeria, out of our whole 230 million, what would they? If just 30 million go, sorry. In fact, that 30 way on top as Nigeria go fit come out. The streets go reach them. It go fit happen. So what?
It's too much. See,
so what if they give us this mind? Oh, they relax. They feel like, say, okay, let's persevere on, let's push on. And do you think that that's the reason why it looks like government officials will see something that is clearly unconstitutional and they go do it because they feel, say, well, these people, they not get leave and nothing they go fit do. They not get mind, they not go fit do anything. And how long will we continue like this and move forward as a country like this?
So Nigerians have revolted many times. Even before the colonial masters left, about men riots.
Yes.
Many ransom Kuti, you know, the protests against the colonial masters. Colonial masters did not just leave that of the independence after they rebelled against the military. You know, many of you that did the against military are still alive today. Nigerians have revolted many times. What has not happened, or what we have been missing, is after the revolt, getting proper leadership. You know, that's what we have been missing. Revolution is a turning around and saying, we are done with this. We need something new. Yes.
See what is somebody talk. Somebody say, see the reason we make it not happen. Doesn't say fight or comrade. Nigerians cannot cause a revolution because all politicians have to do is just to play the ethnic or tribal card and sit and watch you people fight yourselves because of tribalism. Honestly speaking. Do you think that's one of the reasons?
Even though he has a point, there have been countries that they have done that for years and they broke through it. That is it. And how did they do it? There are countries that they did that for years. You know, what we have not been able to achieve is to install a good leader after the revolt. We have done many revolts. And that's the mistake that we need to stop making. Now, you said something about Nigerians being the happiest people in the world. It was studied and it was confirmed that Nigerians are the happiest people in the world. The question is why? Is it a gene? You know? But what I feel is the reason, according to my own diagnosis, is that we have this ability to create out of nothing. So, things are bad. So let me just create something. If you walk around the streets, you will see people innovating things on their own just to survive. Many innovations. You know, so we have this ability to create whatever, to create happiness out of depression, out of sadness, to just continue to move on. That is still our strength. And how we can reduce the tribalism and the religious stuff that they preach to people is to continue to educate the bulk of Nigerians. And I've said it before on this show also that the truth about revolution is that you do not need your entire population to carry out a revolution. 1, 2, you don't even need everybody to be out to carry out a revolution. 3, you do not even need the cooperation of those in power to carry out the revolution. All you need is the reasonable number. Look at that country that you mentioned. There are 7 million people. The people out are not up to quarter. 1 million. So in Nigeria of 200 million people, how many people do we need per state? Let's say 1 million people per state. That's 36 million. It's more than enough. How many security agencies do we have? The entire security agency, police, army, soldier, they are not up to 1 million. And I can tell you for a fact that many of those security men are also waiting for the revolution. But it has to get to a stage for them to be able to show their support. When it's in a stage that they think that, these people are not ready, it will be difficult for them to show support. I can tell you during the instance, some security agencies supported privately, phone calls. They told us, But it needs to get to a stage that the entire nation is hot, and some security men will say, we are going to stand and protect the people. But it has to get to a particular stage that they will say, this is the fight to the finish. And those that are not going to support, you cannot kill 36 million people. How will you achieve that? You will die. You will waste your life. And I can tell you for a free, the people ruling this country are the most spineless people in the world. They have no courage. Not even one.
Say,
They do not. They don't have courage.
Are you serious?
Do you think if Tinubu is courageous, he will not stop cultists and thuggery in Lagos? Do you think if Wike is courageous, he will not stop oil bunkering in rivers? They are not courageous people. What do? They cooperate with criminals.
They wine oil bunkering.
Oh, oil bunkering is a big business in South. And the government know about it.
You don't know why I cannot tell you that. You know, you see people they accuse them, say Naim black boss oil pipelines. You don't use the accuse and say Naim boss the oil pipeline. So I make us say stop with it.
We cooperate with cultists, they cooperate with terrorists. Have you not seen governors having meetings with terrorists in this country? Spineless and uncourageous people, no strength of character. They can't do anything. They compromise with criminals. So when there's a real revolution going on in this country, I promise you all those people will run. That's why majority of them have 2 citizenship.
Yes.
But we need to continue to educate and re-educate Nigerians so that they can get to that level. I promise you that it can happen. No revolutionary will tell you because things are cool and sweet, and it's like Nigerians are not going to come up this illusion that revolution will never happen. Revolution can never be predicted by anybody. As you're speaking, it can happen. But our duty is to continue their education. Our duty is to continue to fight so that we'll be rescuing some along the way and we'll continue to re-engineer the minds of Nigerians along the way till we get it right. Because we must get it right. We cannot continue this miserable life. I was with a doctor the other day and he was telling me the number of professionals that have left this country. In fact, he said a particular section of medicine, all the teachers have left.
Chai.
All the teachers, all the people that taught him have left. That the people
so
that
who will come teach the rest people when one learn now?
Oh, the people that are in level just 2. There's still going to be a massive crisis of doctors and nurses in this country. It's already happening, but more. You know, many of the, if you go to government hospitals and private hospitals, many of the specialists are working in about 4 hospitals. On Tuesday,
yes,
they are in the hospital. On Thursday, they are in the hospital. Imagine somebody is going to die on Tuesday, and the person that's supposed to come on Tuesday will not come on Thursday. It could be. So,
in fact, I lost somebody very close to me because of that kind of incident.
Oh, yes. So, and are you going to blame those doctors? They are overused and underpaid. Somebody is a consultant in a government hospital. He has to know the hospital also. When they don't have the materials to use in that hospital, he will refer you to his hospital.
Yes.
So, health crisis, economic crisis, security crisis. Nigeria is a catastrophe. Nigeria is a time bomb that has already gone off. It has gone off. What we are just living on is oxygen. So we cannot continue to look. We have to continue to fight. Don't allow anybody to say, well, it's not possible, we cannot win. We don't have choice. We have to win. We do not have choice. You have money, you want to japa. The economy of the world cannot accommodate 200 million Nigerians. They're already complaining.
At all.
The 6 million in UK, the 3 million in US, they're already complaining. Can see what Trump is doing. Weeding people out.
You don't bring on a comeback, small.
Oh, yes. So the economy of the world cannot contain our population. We must fix our country. We do not have option. There's no option. We must fix it. And we must continue to fight. So don't be deterred. The only way you will lose is to stop fighting. And we all have to agree that the crooks that have ruled us from 1960 to date are not an option. When you fix on that and you have seen that and you have accepted that, you will not be making mistakes when it's time to make decisions of leadership.
All right, thank you so much. So, based on this recall, this administrator issue, you talk say made reverse people, made them do waiting them fit to make sure say they stop them from happening.
Everything,
right? Now, waiting you they talk.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, still talking about this River State case. The Socialist Workers League (SWL) has condemned President Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in River State, describing it as imposition of martial law and demanding its immediate reversal. As a matter of fact, there another person we call a martial law self. I think that would be Kenneth Okonkwo. He's saying a martial law, not be because he can't liken him to waiting happen for South Korea. Waiting South Korea head do. Remember waiting South Korea head do. He liken him to waiting the South Korean head do. We make them call for impeachment immediately because they talk say no. They no go fit take that kind of thing where he be say he do. So if now this kind of thing now the president do again, I don't know why we're quiet, but let me finish reading that story. In a statement released today Monday and signed by National Chairperson Jamil Towolawi and the National Secretary Amara Musu, the organization criticized the suspension of elected public officials, including Governors Menela Ifubara and state legislators. Now, the SWL accused both Fubara and the Minister Nyesom Wike of prioritizing controls over the oil-rich states, state resources, rather than serving interest of the working class. That's what they talk. So they talk, say, may reverse people resist them by all means because they're not just imposition of martial law. Do you think that that's purely an imposition of martial law, and why do you think so? If it's an affirmative?
Yes.
Let us look at that. Go play that footage by Kenneth Okonkwo. I just hope that this is the right.
With profound respect to everybody that has been talking, the president did not declare state of emergency in Rivers State. The president declared a martial law in Rivers State. And I want you to understand the difference. The state of emergency is recognized by our constitution and has given the president the power to declare state of emergency under certain conditions. The Nigerian Bar Association, led by its president, has made it clear that none of those conditions has been fulfilled to warrant the declaration of state of emergency, meaning that the purported declaration is not a state of emergency. The Supreme Court is very clear. In the case of Attorney General of Bendel State and Adeyo, he said any act of governance not covered under an enabling law is a nullity. So there is nothing like state of emergency in what President Bola Tinubu did. Why? Because state of emergency does not, even if the situation has arisen, does not include the removal of elected representatives of the people. The Constitution is very clear. In Section 1, subsection 2, that Nigeria shall not be governed or any part thereof by any persons except in accordance with the Constitution. Where is it in the Constitution where it was stated that Nigeria or any state should be governed by a sole administrator? None. So what the president did is akin to what the president of South Korea did when he declared martial law and wanted to remove the elected representatives of the people. The legislature moved in immediately, including the members of the party of the president, and removed the president himself for declaring martial law and intending to remove elected representatives of the people. That is a coup against the federation. The president of South Korea is awaiting trial for doing that, even in his own party. So what the legislature is expected to be thinking about doing is removing Tinubu for declaring a martial law on a state, a federating unit, and trying to rule that state through the military, through sole administrator, not contemplated by our constitution. So what Tinubu has done, can't you see? And let me explain them more. He usurped even the power to make law for that state. He said the sole administrator can make regulation. Regulation is part of law, because regulation is a subsidiary legislation that derives its validity from a statute. So he usurped it through a decree, not our law, that the sole administrator can make law, and that he, Tinubu, and his cabinet will be the one to authorize the law, usurping the power of the legislature. That is treason. That is trying to govern Nigeria, or a part of it, in a manner not contemplated by the Constitution.
Waiting Kenneth Okonkwo talk, it also say the president usurp the law to just say, assume as person where be say will take responsibility for making laws for River State people them. And could it be because of this caretaker thing and control of local government and make the president put that clause, say the sole administrator go fit make laws and where now the Federal Executive Council now then will decide affirming? Could it be that because these may be all games that they had already planned and that's why the president puts this out there? And so do you think, as Kenneth talk, now martial law, now the president imposed for inside?
I can tell you clearly, and I used to tell people that these guys are not brilliant. None of them. The only thing is that they have ambition. And it is a wicked ambition. And they are desperate. So desperation leads you to do anything. You know. Bola Tinubu can secure River State using federal might without suspending anybody. You are afraid they'll bomb pipeline. All right now, the police that you just send them over there to go and support the Navy and the militants that you're already paying to protect the pipeline. Bam! Simple. So that is not the intention. The intention is 2027. As simple as ABC. That River State must be captured so that all the engineering Wike did in 2023 can be done. And how can Wike do that engineering if it's not controlling the local government, since the governor has refused to cooperate? As simple as that. Remember, Bola Tinubu did a meeting with these people. And he gave the man condition. And the man was ready to fulfill one of the conditions. One of them was that allow the House of Assembly to come back. Remove your court case. Start building the new House of Assembly. And he started all those conditions.
And now what's it make them come out the court case they use against them today now? Now what's it make them come out the court case?
Yes. You know, but obviously they have seen that even though he accepted this condition, he was never going to play balls with Wike. And if he's not going to play balls with Wike, how can Tinubu capture Rivers and his environment states?
So there was also a time we also heard that part of the agreement with Wike they struggle. And say Wike, we hear or say gossip, say Wike talk, say now allegedly, say Wike talk, say okay, making rule in states, carry the commissioners, making leave the local government structure for him.
Yes,
same with the local government structure, but he no great because without the local government, God bless you. So how do you tell the governor of the state to leave the local government structure for you? How does that even work? So that means this local government might be the problem.
I blame INEC. Like I said, whatever their name is, the Rivers. The local government structure should not be the structure of anybody, either the governor or the former governor. These are elected third tiers of the government, separated from the state governors or the state government, with their own government to function, with their own duties to function. But in a case where the governor will be the one to appoint or to influence who becomes local government chairman and councillors, that is why they can be having this argument. Imagine if the River State Electoral Commission is truly independent. Wike and Fubara will not be having that discussion. But that aside, you want to control the local government for what purpose? Election. Obviously, commissioners cannot rig elections now. Why do you think Lagos State want to continue to have 37 LCDAs? So that they can win elections. It's obvious. So
but the president is worried about 2027 right now.
Capture the state. So look at it this way.
But
after the 6 months of this sole administrator, and he has captured the state for APC, Install who needs to install a local government leader, and they now decide that, okay, let's just
call it
Fubara to rule. Fubara has no authority who is local government. And APC can do whatever they need to do for the election. That is this, as simple as that. And they could also find a way, if they are more desperate, to make sure it does not even come back. You know, so if they are going to fight, this is the time to fight. If anybody is sitting,
we're practicing democracy, and we're practicing democracy.
No, this is not democracy. They are, since the election, let's start from the election. The election was not democratic. It failed every basis of being on a democratic election. It was fraudulent. It was rigged. There was money exchanging hand. There were dollars. There were overnight electoral reading, and there was machines not working after they were promised to have worked. You know, there were a lot of devaluations in the election. So that has failed already. And immediately Bola Tinubu got to power. In a democracy, you don't come and give order and tell us subsidy, you protest or you protest. It has been a military rule from day one. Tinubu is a general in Agbada. What have they done for protesters? Against them, arrested them, killed them. What have the Nigerian police been doing? Using cybercrime act to arrest people that speak, that tweet, that do video. I mean, somebody said he knows where the president's wife used to see her boyfriend. You arrested him. Why are you arresting him? Let the president's wife take him to court now. What if he can prove what he said? Now, bring him to court today. You refuse to bring him to court. Pastors are arresting people. I saw one video of one pastor. I've never known him before until he arrested someone, maybe Kayode or something. He arrested a fellow pastor because that one spoke against him. It's a joke or true. The country is on who know who has money, who can pay. So there's no democracy anywhere. It is we and the good press, and I'm going to be very careful with that word, good press. They are terrible press and they are good press, that are fighting, and activists and some few political parties that are fighting for the soul of our democracy. Not the ones that have done the same thing in the past, like the PDPs, you know, Co, that have done the same thing in the past, that want to now be claiming saints now. There are few political parties that are speaking the truth, that have always been speaking the truth, that are fighting for the soul of this country.
So, my concern is it not an insult to Nigerians who have died because of the policies of this administration, that the president, in less than 2 years of government, where his policies have dealt a big blow to the people of the country, that the center of conversation now is around 2027, instead of the conversation to be around how Ingo give people better, dividends of democracy. Instead, not be insult for people. People don't die because of the policies with this administration.
Thousands of people.
People don't die because they don't afford medication. People don't die because they lose their jobs because companies already work food. People don't die for different reasons. In one word or the other, they tie down to the policies of this government. Not be insult on the graves and the corpse of those people. That's the president, instead of, if the whole attention now about 2027, is it not an insult? What are we even doing? Should we not be asking this president of accountability? That brings me to my next conversation very quickly. Now, you remember when me and you talk about MBS inflation rates, the other time we didn't release inflation reports, say inflation don't reduce drastically. Inflation been reached at something percent for inside this country, inside this Tinubu administration. All of a sudden, they can't say, inflation don't reduce 20-something percent from 30-something. They say, now good news be that one. No. Now, let me read you this report according to this investigation by the Cable. So they say the National Bureau of Statistics recently reported that Nigeria's inflation fell to 23.18% in February. Now they said, despite this, many analysts question the figure and the methodology. Say how they use even arrive for this big figure. Say Nigerian inflation don't drop, can't reach 23.18%. Because waiting people they see for reality for market, they different. Because as they talk to you now, NBS don't delete that report secretly for inside their page. That now this investigation where these people carry come. A few days after the report release, it was quietly taken down from the NBS website, raising concerns about data transparency and accuracy. If you check very well, it will show that the report had been re-uploaded, but with notable changes. They don't change the part, then we carry the history them. The history and breakdown, the missing historical data as them don't date here. So what do it mean? Say NBS we give a report on inflation, then come out and come change some figures. You remember when we said it, when we talked about it, with the ask whether now just game, I be President Tinubu or somebody don't press their neck say, and I must stop say inflation don't come down, make it be like say government didn't work. Because if you say inflation don't come down, people must feel them one way or the other. So I beg, we can make a whole National Bureau of Statistics post something, then can't delete them. They later can't re-upload them with changes for inside the re-upload. What kind of game are they playing with Nigerians, really?
You cannot rule any country or govern any country based on deception. You cannot. You can only try to deceive yourself. So what these people try to do is that they know you know they're lying. They know you know. And they also know that they're lying. Everybody knows that we are both liars. Now, despite that, they want you to just believe the lie. So this is the lie. Believe it. Just believe it. And you cannot rule a country like that. You cannot. There are many Nigerians that don't even check on these statistics. But if those Nigerians tell you that they are suffering, they are suffering. Madam Precious, nobody will be enjoying and say, I'm suffering now. Why? What's the point? In fact, when you're enjoying, you don't talk. You don't talk. When your school fees are being paid, what am I going to complain about? So they cannot deceive Nigerians with lies and just tweet about it and think, well, we have said it, Gary. The inflation has gone down. Inflation is as high as it has ever was. It's as high. People are complaining like, in fact, someone posted something today. He said, many of you are going to church, not because you really love God. You just want to look for a place to go and cry.
Oh.
Because Nigerians need something to console them. And one of the best places in Nigeria is religious centers. Because they will lift your spirit.
Even though some people think in business centers, some of them be.
Now, business center,
with all due respect to my
we have to say it. Another area too. Now, business center. Why do you think another pastor will arrest another pastor? No be brand go they arrest you because of say you reduce their brand. As that pastor don't speak against Kayode don't feel say now my brand this guy they tamper with too. Don't be spiritual thing now. Jesus arrest anybody. No people talk against Jesus. He don't quickly arrest and say he must apologize. That one apologize for your pulpit, your pastor. So majority of them, don't do business center. Now this economy too now. Person who is about to become doctor, don't go pulpit. Person who is about to be surgeon, don't be about to be engineer. As they finish school like this, as I be talk, motivational speaker, and I feel pray. My run go pulpit, go the fire. So Nigerians are depressed and sad. So there's no lies of statistics that can change it. If you drop a statistics and it's correct, we will see it on the life of the people. And we all know that they sacked the guy that was the MBS before, just because of he released something without telling them. He did. Tinubu has been hiring and firing, appointing and appointing, just to shock everywhere, to put his people there that will speak for him. But you cannot rule a country on deceit. If you are failing, you are failing. Everybody will still come out today and tell you Buhari's government was a terrible government, no matter the lies. Same thing goes for Tinubu.
They say we'll get more light too. They said would they spend about $940 million to go Egypt to go study how they get their lights, and they don't take your lights, Comrade Yoyinka. Apologies. Sincere apologies. They don't take your lights. If you hear, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, Comrade Ayo, can you hear me? All right. Okay. I guess we'll have him reconnect to us again. Comrade Ayo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so I'd like us to look at Natasha's issue very quickly as the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has insisted on sexual harassment allegations against Senator Godswill Akpabio. Now, she said pressure is being mounted on her from various quarters to tender an apology, but said she will never succumb as she looks forward to expose and prove her claims. Now, waiting, she talked with that. So we look forward to her also showing us waiting with that proof that we should get, because everybody does the ask us, where your proof? Every time when she talk for different media houses, we don't talk, people they ask us, where your proof? Where your proof? And people now don't they talk, just like she has responded now. Like, a lot of people are asking her that, oh, what is happening? Go and apologize, just apologize. Remember that Senator Karimi also mentioned before the floor of the House that he begged her, that he told her to go and apologize, that once she apologizes, all this will be over. But she should talk, say it's not about apologizing to the Senate president or apologizing for not sitting where she was supposed to sit or where they addressed her to sit. But as she knows, say the bane of this whole matter, we start all this matter because of, say, the president, the Senate president, they make a pass on her and she no agree. And say she didn't ready to prove, say she not agree, apologize anything until she prove her claim. In fact, she said, I, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, stand firm in my resolve to never apologize for speaking my truth. The desperation to silence me is palpable, but I will not be intimidated. Say the way people they desperate to make her silence. Say be like say the thing. What did you feel? It's in the breathe, in the touch hand like this. Say they just the desperate. You go to see the desperation all over them. But say she like nothing will make her ever be silenced. That she would never be silenced. And that she cannot be intimidated. Quoting her further, she says, the games being played in full view of the Nigerian people will be exposed, and the corrupt individuals who have hijacked our institutions will be held accountable. Now, so she they talk, as a senator, I have a duty to represent my constituents and uphold the principles of justice and transparency. My allegations against Senate President Godswill Akpabio were not made lightly, and I will continue to seek justice and accountability, no matter the cost. She pointed out that the 6-month suspension slammed at her was meant to cow and silence her, saying she was more emboldened and would continue to defend the rights of Nigerian women. She urged Nigerians to disregard reports of her apology, describing it as fake news. Say that one, now fake news when they carry come. Say she need to apologize anything. Say she need to apologize. Say she stand by her ground. She's not going anywhere. Meanwhile, the Kogi State people don't call for her recall. I told you earlier, said they don't call for her recall. As they talk to you, said they don't already sign all the papers and what they need to recall her. So maybe she come back house, come learn. And guess what? Person where they lead her recall process. Now, a woman, a fellow woman, who by the way is Governor Ododo's media aide. Now they call for her recall. Nine champion the call for a recall. Remember that over the weekend, some sources had it that some secrets come and say it be like say the person when they want to use replace her, na Yahaya Bello. And people come they say, oh wow, Yahaya Bello, we're supposed to they face corruption charges to EFCC. Now they go, well, Nigeria now everybody they innocent until proven guilty. So now the Governor Ododo's aide, now the person will follow the front, the champion this recall. And you just be wondering, championing a recall against your fellow woman, make we even hear her as she talks that they don't already finish the processes. Maybe in no time, if we wake up tomorrow to hear, say, INEC don't consent on the recall. And I do hope, saying that like this, way be say some other parties then go begin use also to the recall people then when they do well. We did their party. Watch that clip.
Because of our gross misconduct in the Senate that led us to a 6-month suspension where Kogi Central will not be represented at the National Assembly, the Senate arm. So we have come to recall her back so that we can have a representative in the Senate. Because as a people, we cannot afford not to have a representative in the Senate arm for another 1 year. So we are here to tell INEC to please follow the constitutional process for a recall so that our recall process can begin. That's why we're here.
Okay. So have you submitted or?
We submitted our petition. It's been received. All other documents have been received. This is the acknowledgement copy of the petition.
Is it the entire constituency or just a group of people? Mm-hmm. Under which platform are you representing? Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is a concerned Kogi youths and women.
Okay.
Yes.
And who is controlling this?
Talking about bankroll is a personal business, or it's a personal thing. We are members of our constituents, and we are saying we don't want her anymore because you cannot afford not to have a representative. So nobody is bankrolling. Well, we are the one that voted her, and we are saying we don't want her anymore. So we're not. Nobody is bankrolling. Nobody is having any personal issue with her. It is just what it is. The game is the game.
Okay, when you say you come to submit petition,
yes,
because of the people who are called, is it a process that maybe you have collected the signature already, or you're about to do that? What are the things you have done already?
Okay, thank you very much. We all know the INEC rules. You cannot submit a petition without having to go and get signatures of registered voters, and that's why we're now saying, as a people, we are recalling her back from the Senate because we have gotten what it takes to recall her back from the Senate.
Like how many number of registered voters?
We have 488,000 registered voters from Kogi Central, and as I speak to you right now, we have more than 250,000 voters that have signed for her recall.
Okay, so what was the response from INEC after the moment?
Like you know, INEC is an institutional body, and its constitution is binding them, and as such, they will have to follow due process. So they will get back to us and they will do their job.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Somali Charity JC.
All right, Comrade Ayoinka, thank you so much for joining us back. So while you were away, make I go to give you waiting. I be talk while you were away. I be give on a gist. I be give Nigerians gist. Say, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan talk. Say she let it back down. Lie. Say people they tell us they make she they beg. Say in fact people don't go carry rumors. Say she don't apologize to Senate. Say na lie yo Lori Raw. Say she not apologize anything. Say she not go back down. Make I read them again because I been read them before. If you know did here. According to the paper where report on national dailies, Nigerian dailies, and I get carried news. She say I, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, stand firm in my resolve to never apologize for speaking my truth. The desperation to silence me is palpable, but I will not be intimidated. The games being played in full view of the Nigerian people will be exposed, and the corrupt individuals who have hijacked our institutions will be held accountable. As a senator, I have a duty to represent my constituents and uphold the principles of justice and transparency. My allegations against Senate President Godswill Akpabio were not made lightly, and I will continue to seek justice and accountability no matter the cost, no matter how much it cost me. She pointed out that the 6-month suspension slammed at her was meant to cow her or silence her, saying she was more emboldened. Say the team make her gather more will be instead of the team to make her just shake, and say she will continue to fight her cause. She says she gets all her evidence. So people will ask for evidence. Say when the time come, say she go prove, say Senate President Godswill Akpabio do with him, he say she do. And then I just play footage of one Charity Omole will be her constituency. I should say you don't see that footage, will be her constituent head. Where by the way, now Governor Ododo media aid. I don't know whether you know, say she be Governor Ododo media aid, the sitting governor media aid. She be Governor Ododo media aid. Now she the champion. Now she don't carry the matter go court. Make her just play a small introduction of them again. Now she carry the matter go court. Say don't carry the matter go INEC.
I don't watch it, but I have no choice than to watch it.
Make I play you now. Make it go good. Make it get balanced diet. Make a plan for you. Make it watch out.
Because of her gross misconduct in the Senate that led us to a 6-month suspension where Kogi Central will not be represented at the National Assembly, the Senate arm. So we have come to recall her back so that we can have a representative in the Senate. Because as a people, we cannot afford not to have a representative in the Senate arm for another 1 year. So we are here to tell INEC to please follow the constitutional process for our recall so that our recall process can begin. That's why we're here.
Okay. So have you submitted or?
We submitted our petition. It's been received. All other documents have been received. This is the acknowledgement copy of the petition.
Is it the entire constituency or just a group of people? Under which platform are you representing?
Okay, it is a concerned Kogi youths and women.
Okay.
Yes.
And who is bankrolling this?
Talking about bankroll is a personal business, or it's a personal thing. We are members of our constituents, and we are saying we don't want her anymore because you cannot afford not to have a representative. So nobody is bankrolling. Well, we are the one that voted her, and we are saying we don't want her anymore. So nobody is bankrolling, nobody is having any personal issue with her. It is just what it is. The game is the game.
Okay, when you say you come to submit a petition,
Yes,
you have
please.
a call. Is it a process that maybe you have collected the signature already, or you're about to do that? What are the things you have done already?
Okay, thank you very much. We all know the INEC rules. You cannot submit a petition without having to go and get signatures of registered voters, and that's why we're now saying, as a people, we are recalling her back from the Senate because we have gotten what it takes to recall her back from the Senate.
Like how many number of registered voters?
We have 488,000 registered voters from Kogi Central, and as I speak to you right now, we have more than 250,000 voters that have signed for her recall.
Okay. So what was the response from INEC after the moment?
Like you know, INEC is an institutional body, and its constitution is binding them, and as such, they will have to follow due process. So they will get back to us and they will do their job.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Omole Charity Jesse.
Yes, so. Omole Charity Jesse, INEC na constitutional body. All right, so Comrade Ayoyinka, ide your domot now. Make I let you make it respond as it hot.
Thank you. I saw that video, but I did not want to play it because I don't want to get irritated, you know. I don't like saying dumb.
No vex, I can make you vex.
I don't get choice as you don't play.
Go ahead.
And as expected, I know that it will be dumb. You know what
it was dumb. Is it dumb? They don't collect. They say over 400 and something, over 488,000 voters. They don't collect 400,000.
Look at the way she was speaking. Look at the way she was speaking. You know, it's almost like she's a machine. Like someone is just playing remote control. Look at the way she put her mouth. There's no composure and hunger. That's what I see. It's a hungry people.
Yes,
that's
hunger make they do this work.
It's hunger. You know, sometimes you get so much hungry, you forget your brain. You just forget that your brain does not exist. You only think with your stomach. You know, that's exactly what. So they are just confused set of people that have been put in the mix of fight of two politicians. They don't know what they are doing. You know, and it's sad.
Okay, so in reaction to listening to Natasha talk about saying that they cannot cow her and she's never going to apologize, and that she wants that her accusation on the Senate president stands, and that she's willing to make her, prove her claim. Waiting, you get to talk about her.
Yeah, like I said in some of my previous interview, that she should continue to push. She has no option than to fight this fight to the end. There's no point in begging, in pleading. There's no point in playing politics. Fight! Like your life is based on it. The reason is this. She get the seat back or she did not get the seat back, that she fought will make a mark and prove a point that things like that should not be happening. But if she begs and they don't give her back the seat, she will continue to be a puppet for these people. So she should fight, and I like her. She's fighting.
And then what do you think about the accusation or the allegation saying that Yahaya Bello might feel likely take her position?
Obviously, she has had issues with Yahaya Bello in the past. She has had issues with Yahaya Bello in the past, and Yahaya Bello is in the need of the judiciary taking their eyes away from him. And there's somebody that is the goody boy of the judiciary, who everybody is running to now. Fabio was with him the other day, and everybody wants to snap with him. So it needs a favor of the APC. So Yahaya Bello will not.
Who be the golden boy? Who be the golden boy?
Okay, the golden boy of the judiciary. The one that the judiciary is calling. Wiki. It's a golden boy.
What to make Nigerians do this cartoon video like this?
And I don't see another one. The golden boy of the judiciary. Hammer everything. You can send Supreme Court where they are not even supposed to go and rule on, So obviously, Yahaya Bello can take that kind of offer. So there's nothing, and anything Ododo is doing, Yahaya Bello is in support. Anything Yahaya Bello is doing, Ododo is in support. You shall saw him during the Yahaya Bello's EFC trial. And to speak of Yahaya Bello should be in prison. I don't know why he's not in prison. He's a thief. He stole money. So why is he not in prison? That's a shame that
but he hasn't been proven guilty. Everybody get innocent until they prove them guilty.
There's evidence that he stole money. EFC has the evidence. All of us has the evidence. There's the receipt, and the school confirmed that they collected the money. So that is evidence. Court is to give judgment. Court is not just showing evidence. But the court has refused to rule, and they're dancing around. So Yahaya Bello will obey any instruction given to him. It's a joke.
By the way, by the way, she and Natasha don't share about her. I think she don't give it about 2,400 bags of grains to her constituents, maybe including these charity relatives. Now, people look for people with BC group benefits for inside the grains, and she don't share out on top of Ramadan to just give them, maybe you celebrate Ramadan. But unfortunately, she they share them, so they call her, she come back house. Well, we will see as the matter go take be as they happen. Well, I just want to let Nigerians know that you're free to jump in on this conversation. You'd like to say something? Let me quickly let them know that they can jump in on the conversation. The WhatsApp number is on the pinned post, so just kindly look up for the pinned post. They post where they pinned. Look them there. You will see the WhatsApp number there, and if you call us for the WhatsApp number, or you just click on that link where they by the pinned post, and it will direct you into the studio. So you could join us inside the studio to put your mouth for the talk. The more we get to talk inside the studio. So the WhatsApp number is by the pinned post, and the link to join the studio is on the pinned post. So you could just join us straight into the studio. Ayo, you were trying to say something before I cut you.
Yeah.
If try to talk something.
If giving bag of rice is what she has been doing as a personal business, that is a business. But that is not the works of senators, sharing bag of rice. But if it's she, I think she has been doing something like that before. I've seen some of her videos of so all those things, competition of bag of rice. Wiki also shared one.
No, but I hear that her father has always been a philanthropist. I see her papa always been a philanthropist.
I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos.
Medicares and all that. And say right from time, she also, before she even joined politics, she don't take up those things from her.
I have also seen the video. But all those things to score points that politicians do, share bag of rice. That's not your work. That's not your work. We need a country where citizens can get things by themselves. Not giving free handouts. There's one boy on Instagram. That boy should be doing that, not these politicians. Wicked too. After wickeding the entire.
Boy on Instagram was that?
There's one boy on Instagram that does it. I can't remember his name now. Wiki, after wickeding the entire nation, he shared bag of rice in Abuja. After breaking all their houses and smashing all their lands.
I deliberately don't carry that news because I don't get strength.
Threw that bag of rice on his face and that's what they did in Ghana. They bought bag of rice. They posted everything on the face of the politician. Very sad.
I don't know when Nigerians then go even learn self. So earlier today, I reported that there was likely another explosion around the Okreka area of River State, but I don't try to call people around River State to find out. But my sources there now they tell me say that there was that there was a fire outbreak on Saturday, and then a gas leakage yesterday. But so far, they never really get evidence of any, any explosion proper for inside Okreka. However, we hear say Air Force go inside, the creek, then they shoot. In fact, they went on a shooting spree, on illegal bunkers sites for inside that Okreka area. So for the gunshot and all that, we go don't see, go don't be because of say Air Force go on that shooting spree, and I'm waiting go don't lead to that bullet and all those stories. We make the person where I carried the report from earlier talk say them be the shoots them before the explosion happened. I just thought to quickly clear that up. All right, Comrade Ayo, let me release you. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for joining me on the live. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping me do the work that we do. And I know say one day our voices go be heard, and Nigerians, the information, with continuous information, it will sink to our head and we will learn to do the right thing and to also come out to fight for the life of our country. Because no matter how we do Jackpot reach and the other countries reach, no country will be first-hand citizens like we will be for Nigeria. In fact, we even there our own country, we'll still be second-class citizens for our own country, let alone for other people's countries then. What will come be? So this is the only country we have to call ours, and we must take it seriously like our country and make it very useful. I appreciate you. Make I release you, make it good. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so let me quickly take your responses. Thank you. So let me quickly take your reactions and responses very quickly. Comrade, it says, Comrade, she should fight. A woman that should be that should use that position to start powerful NGO for abused women is instead going up and down with her Louis Vuitton hijab making noise. I beg you. Well, that's your opinion. And then some people also say, because there's a lot of culture of silence in Nigeria. There's a huge culture of silence in Nigeria. People need to talk and speak up about things like this. So her speaking up, we don't give a lot of mind and morale to a lot of people out there who don't face one or two sexual harassment issues, the mind to speak up about them. Remember that this is not just about Natasha. This is about the natural culture of silence about abuses and harassment. In fact, if you like to even see harassment as anything, I want to bet that you're not in Nigeria, you're in a foreign country. Would you actually have the mind to actually harass or sexually harass any of your colleagues, and you intend to go scot-free with it? You know, go free. That's all he did. So no ask Nigerian person to take them lightly because of so we not get the right laws and all that. We go hold them accountable, the accused accountable. Thank you, LSD. I appreciate you. And Pioneer then says Natasha should have read the book called The 48 Laws of Power. She don't go feed them more powerful than her boss, Abi. Maybe she know them more powerful than our gap. Oba Biafra says Nigeria is a failed state and dead. Oba Biafra, that's your personal opinion. And you said Natasha no get sense at all. No. That's a very unfair thing to say about her. That's a very unfair thing. Unless you say Laos, this cracked me up. People go to a place of worship not to serve God, but to go and cry since they can't come out to cry. Chai, Nepa has done it. Yes, so Nepa, take out your lights. Thank you. I say, comrade, no make me laugh. I beg. There is no church. He said there is no church. We go start tomorrow where anybody no go attend. As we see, as we see you. We even get lights we go believe say God they your side self. Maybe you go be pastor, your next pastor and your daddy Gio. All right, I take a few more responses. Onyeka here says, Onibobo, you're doing well. Thank you, Onyeka, appreciate you. And Sonindu says this is really reason for the state of emergency administration being cleared in River State. Shame on Tinubu and Wike, that's what you said. And one day, Asemota says, 3 soldiers that were executed by terrorists. Nothing was said about them by the COA, that is Chief of Army Staff, and the presidency. I'm wondering why the presidency didn't say anything about that. I'm wondering. And Itamatito says he's going to appoint Wike men on LG administrators. That is exactly what a lot of people are saying. That is exactly what they're saying. And Tinubu and Wike do not care if the country burns. Unfortunately, now waiting a lot of people believe in this. Unfortunately, comrade, you are an idealist, and I commend you. But I am realist and pragmatist, and Nigerians can never unite for revolution. Politicians only need to share money, and people return on each other. This is very sad. This is very sad because the hunger with the beats now they reach everybody. You know they one person roof only, and everybody they reach. So if we want to continue like this and expect change, then let's continue like this. But if we want to also take the bull by the horn and do the right thing and effect the change that we need, then let's see what happens as we effect that change. I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that joined me on the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it and well done. And let's continue to talk and speak for the development of our country. You know, they're easy. The countries will get them right no such on one day, but gradually and with consistent effort, enlightenment, and sensitization, we will fit ensure say we'll press on our elected officials to do the right thing and press on government to give us that governance we really desire as a people. I love you guys. And I see you again tomorrow, God willing, sometime in the afternoon, and then see you again in the evening tomorrow. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Goodbye. To remind you, if this is your first time of joining us here, no vex. Oh yeah, click on that subscription button. Click on the subscription button and ensure so you subscribe. Follow us like a village people, make we move the ministry forward. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.